Chosen one, have you noticed how the world reacts when you start thinking differently? When you question things, when you wake up? That's because the Matrix doesn't want you to escape. But now it's too late for them. You've already broken free. You've always felt it, haven't you? That sense of not quite fitting in. You see the world differently. And because of that, it sees you differently too. At first, it was subtle. Small signs that you were thinking outside the box, moments when you questioned the narrative everyone else seemed to accept. But as time went on, it became more obvious. You started noticing the distractions, the lies, the manipulation, and then one day it all clicked. You woke up. Suddenly, the threads of their control began to unravel, and the truth stood before you, undeniable. They know you see it. They know you can't be fooled anymore. That's why they're trying so hard to stop you, to silence you, to delete you. But here's the thing, they can't. You've already escaped, and nothing they do will ever pull you back. If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video, and comment 77 below. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why they fear you and why they'll never succeed in silencing your awakening. How the Matrix tries to keep chosen ones trapped. There's a reason you've felt the pull of something greater, the sense that you're meant for more than the daily grind and surface-level distractions. It's no accident that you've started questioning the status quo, looking at the world around you, and seeing cracks in the illusion. The truth is, you've been surrounded by a carefully constructed web of distractions, designed to keep you in place, to keep you looking down rather than up. Social media feeds that never end, streaming platforms that offer escape rather than insight, and news cycles that stoke fear and confusion. All of it works together to keep you tethered to a reality that isn't really yours. You're not alone in feeling this. Many have sensed that their lives are being dictated by forces outside their control. But unlike most, you've started to break free. You've seen beyond the distractions, and now you can't unsee it. And while that can be empowering, it can also be deeply unsettling. You're no longer in the dark, but you're not yet fully in the light. The Matrix isn't just a concept from a movie. It's a very real system of control, carefully designed to keep chosen ones like you from ever realizing your full potential. From the moment you entered this world, you've been bombarded with messages meant to shape your perception of reality. They tell you what success looks like, what happiness is supposed to feel like, and how you should think, act, and live. Maybe you've felt it in moments of doubt, when the voice in your head echoed their programming, whispering that you'll never be enough, that your dreams are unrealistic, that questioning authority only leads to trouble. It's a heavy burden to carry, that constant pressure to conform. And yet, you've resisted, you've questioned, you've dared to think that there might be something more. That courage, that spark within you, is exactly what they fear most. What if I told you that every time you doubted yourself, every time you felt weighed down by the expectations of the world, it was all part of a larger plan to keep you from awakening? Consider Matthew 10, verse 16, which says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." This passage isn't just about being cautious. It's about understanding the nature of the system you're navigating. The wolves, in this case, are those who profit from keeping you blind to your true power. They need you to remain passive, to accept their version of reality. But you've begun to see through it, and that's where the shift happens. Once you start noticing the lies, the manipulation, the endless loop of distractions, you begin to break free from their grip. This is the moment when the scales fall from your eyes, and you realize you were never meant to live under their control. The signs of this awakening are everywhere, if you know where to look. Perhaps you've noticed that things that once held your attention no longer have the same pull. Maybe the entertainment you used to enjoy now feels hollow. The news stories designed to provoke fear no longer affect you as deeply. Or the social media posts that once kept you scrolling for hours now seem meaningless. These are not random changes. They're signals that your perspective is shifting. You're starting to tune into a different frequency, one that reveals the deeper truths beneath the surface. You may also find yourself drawn to new sources of wisdom, seeking knowledge that resonates with your soul rather than your ego. These shifts are not just coincidences. They're the first steps in reclaiming your power and stepping out of the Matrix's control. What's happening now is not just a personal transformation, it's a spiritual one. Psalm 37 verse 23 tells us, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way." This is more than just reassurance. It's a reminder that even in the midst of a system designed to keep you trapped, divine forces are guiding you. The doubts, the confusion, the times when you felt lost, all of it was leading you to this moment of clarity. The Matrix can try to obscure the truth, but it cannot erase the divine alignment that is taking place in your life. The higher powers that watch over you have been working tirelessly, clearing your path and creating opportunities for you to step into your purpose. This is not a test of endurance. It's a setup for elevation. Every synchronicity, every unexpected connection is a sign that you're not alone in this journey. Now that you've begun to see through the Matrix's lies, the next step is fully accepting what you're discovering. Many people resist this phase because it can be overwhelming. The thought of stepping into the unknown, of leaving behind the familiar comforts of the system, can be intimidating. But true freedom requires embracing the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may seem at first. This is a sacred moment. It's the point where you must decide to let go of the chains that have held you back and step into the light. Alignment isn't just about recognizing the signs. It's about living in harmony with them. It's about embodying the truth you've uncovered and allowing it to guide your decisions, your relationships, and your purpose. This is the moment where you claim your identity as a chosen one and fully step into your power. Once you've made that choice, it's time to act. The Matrix loses its power the moment you refuse to play its game. This doesn't mean you have to overthrow it in one grand gesture. It means taking small, deliberate steps every day to align with your true purpose. Start by deepening your spiritual practice. Connect with others who share your vision. Seek out knowledge that empowers you rather than programming that distracts you. The more you live in alignment with your authentic self, the stronger you become. And the stronger you become, the less control the Matrix has over you. Each choice you make, each step you take, reaffirms your decision to break free. You're no longer a passive participant in their system. You're an active creator of your own destiny. As you continue on this path, remember that your awakening is not just about you. It's about paving the way for others who are still trapped. Each time you choose truth over illusion, each time you stand firm in your power, you're creating a ripple effect that inspires others to do the same. Come and awaken if this resonates with you. And know that this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. Why they fear you awakening? There's a certain unease that stirs within you. You've been questioning things for a while now, haven't you? Not just the big, obvious lies, but the subtle ones too. The small moments where the narrative didn't quite add up, where the world around you felt more like a crafted story than reality. At first, it was just a feeling, a whisper in the back of your mind. But then you started to see patterns. You noticed how each time you began to think differently, to step outside the lines, the pushback came fast and hard. Doubts crept in, making you wonder if you were the problem, if maybe you should just go back to playing the game. But the more you tried, the more it became clear. It wasn't you that was broken, it was the system. And now you're awake. The clarity is there, undeniable. They know it too. They see it in the way you no longer comply, the way you no longer believe in their illusions. This is why they fear you, because you can no longer be controlled. You remember those moments of confusion, don't you? The times when it felt like you were walking through life in a fog, unsure of your direction, questioning why everything felt so hollow. Perhaps it was a job that drained you, a relationship that didn't align, or a world that demanded conformity at every turn. You felt the weight of trying to fit in, the pressure to stay silent when your heart screamed for something more. It's a lonely place to be, caught between what the world expects and what your spirit knows to be true. The rejection wasn't just external, it was internal too. There were times you rejected your own intuition, suppressing that voice inside that begged you to look deeper. It's no wonder they fear you now, because the pain, the struggle, the doubts have only made you stronger. You've come out the other side, knowing what you truly are. But what if all of it was preparing you for this moment? Romans 8 verse 18 reminds us, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us." Your struggles were never just struggles. They were steps toward something greater. The frustration you felt was a sign that your soul was resisting their constraints, that you were meant for a higher purpose. Each time you questioned the narrative, each time you chose truth over comfort, you moved closer to awakening. It's no coincidence that you're here now, hearing these words. The very fact that you're listening means you've already started to see through the illusion. The moment you woke up, you disrupted their carefully crafted design. And the moment you disrupted it, they lost their power over you. Now everything looks different. You're seeing things you never noticed before. Little cracks in the facade, subtle shifts in the energy around you. You've started recognizing the signs. Moments of clarity, synchronicities, and that growing sense of inner peace. The distractions that used to hook you, mindless scrolling, fear-mongering headlines, the endless chase for approval, no longer have the same pull. They're losing their grip. Instead, you're drawn to deeper truths, to wisdom that resonates with your soul. You find yourself aligning with people who get it, who see through the same illusions you've shattered. The matrix is crumbling around you, and it's not just coincidence. It's proof that you've stepped into a new reality. You've become the very thing they feared most, someone who can no longer be manipulated. But why do they fear you so much? Because their power lies in your ignorance. For as long as they could keep you asleep, they could control you. But the moment you woke up, you broke their spell. Isaiah 40 verse 29 reminds us, "He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak." The power you've tapped into isn't just your own, it's divine. You've aligned with a force they can't touch, and it terrifies them. Every time you refuse to believe their lies, every time you see through their propaganda, their foundation cracks a little more. They fear you because you remind them that their control is an illusion. The more chosen ones awaken, the closer they come to losing their grip on humanity. And you are the living proof that awakening is not only possible, it's inevitable. And yet, this awakening is not without its challenges. Once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. The world around you often feels more chaotic, not less. As you start to navigate this new reality, it's as if their attempts to pull you back grow stronger. They throw distractions at you, try to stoke your fears, and whisper doubts into your mind. But you've come too far to be swayed. The resistance you face is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of progress. The pressure they place on you only shows how much they fear losing control. You are a force of change, a beacon of light in a world built on shadows. And that is why they can't afford to let you go quietly. But they have no choice. You've already awakened, and there's no turning back. As you fully embrace this new perspective, you'll find that the fear they once wielded against you is now powerless. You are no longer a prisoner of their lies. Instead, you are guided by a truth that resonates deep within your soul. You've seen the cracks in their illusion, and you know that their hold is not absolute. Each step you take in this newfound awareness weakens their grip, strengthens your resolve, and inspires others to follow. They fear you because they know you are not alone. The more you walk in this truth, the more others will see it and step into their own awakening. Their reign of control depends on silence and compliance. You've given them neither, and in doing so, you've changed the game forever. So here you are, fully awake and fully aware. They've tried to stop you, to silence you, to convince you that your awakening was just a dream. But you know better. You see it now. Their fear isn't just about losing control over one person. It's about losing control over the many. You represent something much larger than yourself. You are living proof that their power is not absolute. Every moment you spend in this awakened state sends ripples through their system. You are dangerous to them, not because you seek revenge, but because you embody truth. Come and awaken if you see it too. The best is yet to come. The signs that you have escaped their system. It's a quiet but unmistakable realization. Something within you is different now. You can feel it in the way you approach each day. What once seemed like insurmountable confusion now feels like a distant memory. You used to wake up feeling trapped in the same endless cycle, questioning if there was any point to it all. But now, there's a sense of clarity, a quiet knowing that you are on a path meant only for you. This isn't something that was handed to you overnight. It was earned through the moments when you chose not to give up, when you decided to look deeper instead of turning away. Slowly, the world started to look different. You noticed patterns in places you never thought to look. You saw synchronicities that felt too perfect to dismiss. These signs aren't random. They are the universe speaking directly to you, affirming that you are no longer bound by their rules. The change didn't come easily. Think back to the times when you doubted yourself, the moments when you questioned whether you'd made the right choices, when it seemed like nothing was going your way. Those days were heavy, weren't they? You felt like you were swimming against the current, trying so hard to find a sense of direction while the world seemed determined to push you down. The pressure to conform, to stay silent, to keep your head down, it was almost unbearable. Yet you kept searching, even when it seemed pointless. You couldn't ignore the faint voice inside that said, "There's more than this." That voice grew louder as the cracks in the illusion became clearer. And now, as you look back, you see those struggles as the turning point that led you here. You're no longer a prisoner to the doubt. You've stepped into a higher understanding of who you are. There's a passage in Isaiah 43 verse 19 that says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." This isn't just a poetic sentiment. It's a promise. You've been walking through a wilderness of sorts, navigating a world that seemed void of meaning, but now you see the stream cutting through it. It's not about finding something new outside of you. It's about recognizing what was always within you. The signs that you've escaped their system aren't just coincidences. They're the new thing that God has placed in your life. The moments of clarity, the insights that seem to come out of nowhere, the profound sense of peace when you follow your intuition. These are not accidents. They're the markers of a life that is no longer tethered to the lies you once believed. They're the confirmation that you're finally walking your own path. You begin to notice how much lighter you feel. Where once there was anxiety and self-doubt, now there is peace. The things that used to upset you or throw you off course no longer hold power over you. You find that you're no longer chasing validation from others. Their opinions, once so loud in your mind, have quieted. Instead, you feel a deep sense of self-assurance. You've started to trust yourself in a way you never thought possible. This doesn't mean you've stopped growing. Quite the opposite. You're more aware than ever of the journey you're on. But instead of feeling lost or overwhelmed, you feel guided. The signs of transformation are all around you. The relationships that bring you genuine connection, the opportunities that come just when you need them, the undeniable sense that you're in alignment with something greater than yourself. There's a divine rhythm to what's happening now. As Psalm 37 verse 23 reminds us, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way." The steps you're taking aren't random. They're part of a divine order that's unfolding perfectly. When you let go of the fear and simply follow that inner guidance, you begin to see how everything fits together. The synchronicities aren't just interesting coincidences. They're deliberate signs that you're on the right track. The people you meet, the insights you gain, even the obstacles you encounter, all of it is designed to help you grow into who you were always meant to be. It's not just that you've escaped their system. It's that you're now fully aligned with a higher plan. The more you trust this, the more effortlessly the pieces fall into place. But recognizing these signs isn't enough on its own. This is the moment where you must fully step into your new reality. Some people hesitate here, afraid of what it means to truly live outside the system. They worry that without the familiar structures, they'll falter. But you've come too far to turn back. This is your moment of self-realization, the point where you fully claim your freedom. It's not just about seeing the truth, it's about living it. That means embracing the signs, trusting your intuition, and moving forward without hesitation. The chains that once held you are gone. What remains is the choice to walk boldly in your newfound power. This is your sacred moment, the time to fully embody the change you've worked so hard to bring about. Now that you see it clearly, you have everything you need to step into your new reality. There's no need to look back. The doubts, the fears, and the obstacles you faced were all preparing you for this. Each sign you've received, each moment of clarity, was pointing you toward this exact place. The only thing left is to move forward, strengthen your spiritual practice, deepen your connection to the divine, and trust that you're exactly where you're meant to be. The signs will keep appearing, each one a reminder that you're on the right path. They can no longer control you because you've chosen to live in truth, and in that choice, you've found a power that no one can take away. So here you stand, free and awake. The signs that you've escaped their system are everywhere, not just in the world around you, but in the peace you carry within. This is your moment to step fully into the life you were always meant to live. Comment free if this resonates with you, and remember that you are no longer under their control. Your future is your own, and the best is yet to come. What happens next now that you are free? You've already felt the shift, haven't you? That sense of liberation from the chains that once held you back. It's subtle at first, but undeniable. You find yourself walking through life with a new clarity, a sense of purpose that wasn't there before. Where once you doubted your decisions, second-guessed your intuition, now there's a calm assurance. The world may look the same on the surface, but your perspective has changed entirely. You see through the old patterns, the outdated rules. There's no more need to seek validation from the very system that sought to confine you. Instead, you trust yourself, you trust the path you're on, and you trust that you are exactly where you need to be. This isn't just a mental shift, it's a spiritual awakening. Now that you've broken free, you begin to notice how your thoughts feel lighter, your emotions more stable, your choices more intentional. The fog has lifted, and for the first time, you see the road ahead clearly. Yet, this newfound freedom isn't without its challenges. With clarity comes responsibility. You've taken yourself out of the system's grip, but the question remains, what do you do now? The world you used to know doesn't quite fit anymore. The distractions that once held your attention now feel hollow, meaningless. You may feel a lingering sense of isolation as you step into a new reality that few around you seem to understand. The habits you relied on for comfort, the routines you clung to out of habit, now feel foreign. you're shedding an old skin. But the process isn't always easy. It's not just about leaving behind what no longer serves you. It's about actively choosing what comes next. This transition can be unsettling, but it's also empowering. It's the moment when you realize that you are no longer at the mercy of external forces. You're in control now, and while that's a responsibility, it's also the greatest gift you could give yourself. The beauty of this new chapter is that your struggles were not in vain. In fact, they were preparing you for exactly this moment. Romans 5 verses 3-4 tells us, "We also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope." Your journey hasn't been a series of random events. Every challenge you faced, every setback, every doubt, it all shaped you, strengthened you, and readied you for this freedom. The pain you endured was not without purpose. It gave you the resilience you need to walk this path with confidence. And now that you're here, you can look back on those struggles not with bitterness, but with gratitude. They were the fire that forged you. They were the storms that taught you how to stand firm. And now that the storm has passed, you see the sun breaking through. This is the turning point. This is where your freedom becomes a source of strength, not just for you, but for everyone who crosses your path. So what comes next? The answer lies in your hands. You have the power to shape your future, to make choices that align with your true self, and to continue growing into the person you were always meant to be. This is your time to create, to explore, to expand. The world is open to you now, full of possibilities that once seemed out of reach. Embrace this freedom with open arms. Trust that you are supported, guided, and capable. And most of all, remember that your journey is not over, it's just beginning. As you move forward, know that every step you take inspires others to do the same. Your freedom is their hope. Your courage is their invitation. And your light is their guide. Comment free if this resonates with you. And know that the best is yet to come. How to stay awake and never be controlled again. You've already come so far on this journey, but the real work begins now. Awakening is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. One that requires awareness, intention, and daily effort. Right now, you might be feeling a mix of liberation and uncertainty. It's normal. They built the system to feel like a safety net, even if it was actually a cage. Now that you're out, the freedom can feel overwhelming. But that's okay. What you're feeling is the vast potential of a life not defined by their constraints. It's that very openness that gives you the power to define your own path. This is your time to step into that freedom fully, to stand in your power, and to ensure that you never let them pull you back into their illusion. It's easy to fall into old patterns. When challenges arise, the temptation to go back to what's familiar can feel strong. After all, the system was designed to lull you into a false sense of security. They want you to believe that their way is the only way, that it's safer to follow their rules than to forge your own path. You might feel moments of doubt, when the world around you resists your change, when old friends don't understand the new you, or when life's challenges make you question if it's worth it. That's when you must remember that these struggles aren't signs of failure. They're proof of growth. The path of awakening isn't smooth, but every obstacle is a reminder that you're moving forward. Each time you confront doubt and choose to keep going, you're strengthening your resolve and proving to yourself that you will never go back to the person you were. Psalm 18 verse 28 says, "You, Lord, keep my lamp burning. My God turns my darkness into light." It's this truth that carries you through the moments of uncertainty. You've been given the tools to stay awake: prayer, meditation, a deeper connection to the divine. This journey isn't just for you. As you continue to grow, your transformation becomes an example for others. Those still trapped in the system will see your light and begin to question their own reality. Your story, your courage, Your resilience will inspire them to start their own journey. Comment free if this resonates with you. And know that your awakening is not just your own. It's a beacon for those who need to find their way out. The best is yet to come. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Like this video and comment, "I am chosen to let this message anchor in your soul." Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Remember, you are chosen, you are powerful, and you are unstoppable.